نعم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Now inshallah we want to look at some exercises on Hal. So التدريبات على الحال, some exercises about Hal. So if you look at, we are looking at three exercises. The first is Temri 1 of under Hal in this Kitab al-Muqarrar or Nahw. So also we're also looking at Temri 7. So the term one we have taken time to read to write it out. So this is the term one. So that is that. Also we are looking at term seven. We also take out some things in the Quran that we will get, we will explain some things there and we look at it. What is hal, what is hal, what is not hal there. Now, so quickly look at the term one. What are we supposed to do? What's the matlub said? Ajin fil ibarat al atiya. You should identify in this passage moja amin al ahwal, the al that are there, that's the plural of hal ahwal, mubayyina ayhat al fa'il, those one that are explaining ayhat al fa'il, the decision of the fa'il, wa moja minha mubayyinan ayhat al maf'ul bihi, and the one that is explaining the state of the maf'ul bihi, the condition and state of the maf'ul bihi. So quickly let's look at it. Before we do that, let's quickly revise our hal. Our hal is always a word that is what? A fadla. That means without the hal, your sentence should be complete. That means if the hal is not there, your word, hal is dispensable. That means if it's not there, your word is this thing. And your soluble hal will always be marifa. Your hal expected it should be nakra, except it is a jumla or other things. Those are the basic rule. So we are going to apply the same thing in what we want to treat here. So let us go together. Don't forget we are identifying our hal and our sahibul hal. Do you get now? Now look at this. The passage read, Yukubilu nasu ala tajiril amin. Tajiri. This is tajiri. So the people do approach tajiril amin. Tajir, what is a tajir? A trader that is trustworthy. So if you look at this jaru amajuru, is it hal? No. Because if you just say Yukubilu nas, this akmala, it always collocates with Allah. Don't forget, we told us that our hal, if our hal is not there, our sentence will be complete. For instance, if I say Jalasa Zaidun, do you get now? You know that Allah al-Kursi, that Allah is it collocates with Jalasa. So Allah al-Kursi will not be what? The hal there. Do you get now? The same thing here too. So Allah, because akmala always go with Allah. So it's just like a normal sentence. Do you understand? So this Allah Tajiru will not be what? Jaru wa majuru. I will not say Jaru wa majuru fi mahali hal. No. Fi mahali nasbil hal. No. Because Akbal always go with Allah. So that is just a normal sentence. Normal construction. So because our hal, we say that is always an extra word. Extra word that is coming to come and explain. Come and explain things. If you look at it now, this Allah Tajiru is not explaining this fa'il. It's not giving you any information about it, like it's not giving you a picture of it. So let's get on. So it said wathikin. Hey, look at this now. Wathikin. The approach is the tajir wathikin. That means from what you know that when we say wathiko now, is it to trust somebody. So that is what yethiku wathikotun. Do you get now? So this is wathikin. This is ismul fa'il. This is how our hal will be. You can see because it is hal mufrad. It's explaining the nos when they approach tajir. They approach him being trust, being what? Wathikin of bizimati, being trust or being believed with his what zimma, that they are under his protection. Do you get now? Mutma'innin. This is also hal again. Mutma'innin. Being rest assured from ala fa'inna ala bizikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. So mutma'innin from itma'anna. So ismul fa'il. We told us these are things that always occur as hal. It's still describing this nas, which is fa'il here. So mutma'innin ila mu'amalati. Being rest assured with his words, with his transaction. لأنه, because the tajir yabi'uhu sila'ahu, he always sold to them, he do sell to them sila'ah. So this from sil'atun, The plural of sil'atu is sila'un. Like you see what bid'atun. What's the plural? Bid'atun. Do you get now? So they are when your now is fa'ilatun. So and you are taking to jamu tekstir, it can come with fi'alun. So that's why sil'atun, that is goods, what it sells. So sila'un. Do you get now? So it maf'ul bi take fatha. So khaliyatan, free, being free from, while it is free from. So you can see that's why you have this tau morbuto, because this is plural. This sila'un is plural of what? Sil'atun. Good. So goods is now what? Sila'un. So now because it is plural, when something is plural, you can feminize it. So that's why we have qaliyatan here, describing the sil'an that the tajir, the trustworthy trader is selling. So he's selling what is goods, qaliyatan, while it is free from. This is a hal. You get? It's a hal like that because it's taking nasbu, and it is a single word, and it is describing this, and the maf'ul will be here. Sila'atu min kulli gishin, from every fraud, Khaliyatan min kulli gishin, that is free from every fraud. And when you see khala, it always collocates with min. Do you get now? So we don't need this jar and majul to be our hal again. Do you get now? What is saying? Say you add ilayhim, and it rendered to them huquqahum, their rights. He rendered the tajir again. You add ilayhim, he rendered to them huquqahum, their rights, kamilatan, completely. Kamilatan, completely. We cannot say this jar and majul is hal, because adda ila, it goes with ila normally. So do you guess now? So kamilatan, completely. So this one is also hal. Do you guess now? It's describing the words, the hukuk, when the tajir is rendering it. So do you guess now? Completely. So that means he render their right to them while it is complete, while their rights will be complete. Will not do badger for them. That means somebody will give you a phone, you show you a good phone, when it goes out and come back, the phone will give you see fufu inside. So now that's not the tajir they are telling us about. So what is that? Talaba ilayhi ahadu hurufahi. Hurufa is what? Zabun. What we call customer. So what is that? Talaba ilayhi ahadu hurufahi. So when any talaba asks from him, demanded from him, who demanded? Ahadu, this is the final of talaba. When you say a verb, you have a final. One of the words, one of the customers, nasihatan, and advice. Addaha, he will render that. Adda, you can see it collocates with like Adda ilayhi, he will render the advice. Mugtebiton, with what? With gobtu. He will render the advice to them with what? With enthusiasm. So he will render the advice why he is what? Enthusiastic. Masururun, why he is happy. You can see hal. So when you are repeating your hal, and you are not using artful, so you repeat it without what? You don't need to put word there. So we call it ta'addudul hal. When you want to talk about one person, maybe when he was sitting, he did the level, we want to say jalasa zaidun akilan shariban qari'an. So you know, say jalasa zaidun akilan wa shariban wa qari'an. You get? So this is a repetition of hal. So for one person, so that is why it will still be what? You don't need what? It will go that way. Mugtebiton, enthusiastic. While he will render the advice to that one of the customers. Mugtebiton, musururun. So he's still describing our word, tajir. Do you get now? Wa in fatahu min wara'i zalika. Even if the advice is rendering. Wa in fatahu, even if that's what? That's wa in fatahu. This fata now, what's the final? The final of fata is what? Ribihun kathir. Ribihun. This what? Because anytime you see your verb, it must say it's fine. The fine is what? Ribihun. So wa in fatahu ribihun kathir min wara'i zalik. So let's look at this. Wa in fatahu ribihun kathir. Even if he lost ribihun kathir, a lot of gain. You know, when somebody knows that we lose a lot of gain, we keep information from people. But they are telling us that a tajul will never do that. Do you get now? Min waro izalik. So let's say that this min waro izalik is not mentioned. You know that this our statement is complete. Do you get now? So what you have seen is that what? Min waro izalik, because it is indispensable. So it's one of those things that give us a clue that is also hal. Do you get now? So this is a hal like this. Do you get now? Min wara'i charu wa majrur. Do you get now? So that is a hal, because one of those things of hal is we can dispense away from it, except in extreme cases. Can dispense away from without using it. Your statement will still be complete. Do you get now? So that's since this min wara'i is dispensable here, we can just say wa in fatahu ribun kathir. Even if what he lost what a lot of gains. So we now say min waro is like after that. That's the hal. After that. So do we get now? So that's the hal like that. So min waro is like, so that's our hal. Jarwa majrur. Sorry, min warohi. The min warohi. So that's quickly. That's what you can take on Temri 1. Quickly, let's go to Temri 7. What are we asked to do there? Sorry, I'll be very fast because time is fast spent. So Temri 7 says that I quote, اجعل جملة الحال في كل مثال من الأمثال الآتية على حالا مفردة. So the hal they use in Temri 7, all the hal they are what? Hal jumla. So we are told to change them to hal mufrada. That means hal that will be what? A single word like this. A single word like this. That's what they want us to use. Do you get now? So let's look at, it said, Temuru bina ayam, time passed by us, wa nahnu lahun, while we fun for her. So while we are what? We are unaware, while we are distracted. So wa nahnu lahun, that is our hal jumla. We are told to change it. So it will be what? Temuru bina ayam lahin. Temuru bina ayam, I'm writing the answers there. Lahin, for those who are watching. Lahin. So it will be what? Temurru bin al-ayyamu. That's what will hal, and all the sentence will go. So the answer will now be what? Lahina. So another is what? Ja al-mudnibu ya'taziru an zambihi. So the answer will be Ja al-mudnibu ma'taziron. It will change to what? Ya'taziru an zambihi. That's our jumla to fi'liya. That will now change to what? Ja al-mudnibu ma'taziron an zambihi. Ma'taziron. So the next one, Roja Asabiku Yatasobabu Arokon. The Sabik, the first return back, the person who took first position, perhaps maybe it was a race. So Yatasobabu, flowing with what? With sweat. Yeah, so it will now be what? Roja Asabiku Mutasobiban. Mutasobiban Arokon. While it's flowing with what? With sweat. Rokiptul Hisono Wawa Mutabun. I mounted a horse. While it is what? While it is tired. So it will now change to what? Rakibtul hisana mut'aban. Mut'aban. Rakibtul hisana mut'aban. So next one, Faroktu ikhwani. I parted way with my brothers. Wa ana munqabidu sadr. Why I'm heart constricted. That means I was sad. So it will change to what? Faroktul ikhwani munqabidon sadri. Munqabido. Sadri, mudofa mudofule, munqabida sadri. So that's what it will be. Munqabida sadri. Faraqtu ikhwani munqabida sadri. Next one, sami'tu al-khatiba. I listened to the words, to the preacher. Ya asibul quluba, arresting the mind, arresting the heart. Bi husni lafzi, which is good words. So it will be what? Sami'tu al-khatiba asiron al-quluba bi husni lafzihi. Asiron, like this. Asiron. It will be like this. Asiron al-kuluba. Al-kuluba, like this. Asiron al-kuluba. So this one is like acting like a verb. It will give this a fatha. So asiron. So this is your hal. Asiron. So the next one, it says, and I quote, Absorutu, I looked at Samuel al-Bustan, the fruits of the garden. Yatasaqatu, why they are falling min shajarihi, from what? From their trees. So do you get now? So it will now be what? Absolve to Samuel al-Bustani mutasaqitan, why they are falling from their trees. Do you get now? So God caught Sefino, the boat sank. وَقَدْ كَانَ مَنْظَرُهَا رَهِيبًا. وَقَدْ كَانَ, why is looking, رَهِيبًا is what? Is fearsome. So it will not be غَرِقَتُ السَّفِينَةُ. It will not be غَرِقَتْ السَّفِينَةُ رَهِي. It will not be رَهِيبًا مَنْظَرُهَا. رَهِيبًا مَنْظَرُهَا. رَهِيب, you bring the hal forward. So it will be رَهِيبًا مَنْظَرُهَا. So that's how it will be. So those are the answers. غَرِقَتُ السَّفِينَةُ رَهِيبًا مَنْظَرُهَا. So that's how that will be, inshallah. So quickly let's look at this and round off another this thing. These are verses of the Quran. So look at this. الَّذِينَ يَبِيتُونَ لِرَبِّهِمْ سُجَّدًا وَقِيَامًا. Those who pass their nights for their Lord, sujadan, while in prostration, wa qiyaman, while standing. You know, if you translate this and you don't check your Quran, you think that these two, they are hal. They are not hal. Rather, because you are saying yebituna, don't forget, one of their qawatu kana. One of their qawatu kana is what? You know that we have kana. One of the qawat of kana is what? Bata. Bata. They give mutada what? Rofun and give kobar nosbu. So what's the mutada? Ismu bata. The ismu bata is what jamaa. What's the kobaru bata? Sujadan. So this is artful for it. So these are not what? They are not hal. Because they are kobaru, they are taking nosbu because they are kobaru of what? Of this yebitu. They are kobaru of yebitu. So they are not what? They are not hal. So don't let us make mistake. These are things that we confess. Look at this. When they pass by what? Vain talks, lustful talk. Maru kiramon. They pass honorably. They pass while being honored. This is hal, of course. Do you get now? So Karim, the plural is kiram. So these are things that give us hal because this is an adjective. Do we get now? For asbahu fi darihim. They now became in their house. In their house, Jathimin, ẹni tó lẹ̀ pamọ́lé. Somebody who is what? Who is trapped in the house. Jusamotun, do you get now? Jathimin. Now, if you look at this now, somebody will say, oh, Jathimin. It's like Ismu Fa'il is hal, it's not hal, because we've seen Asbaha. It's also like what? Kano. Don't forget, we have Kano, Soro, Asbaha, Amsa, all this. So, this Asbaha is like Soro. Fasoru fi what? Fi darihim. So what is the ism of asbaha? Wawu jamaa. What's the cover of asbaha? Jathimin. So this is not hal. So these are things that give the students who do not watch his qawaid will make mistake and think this is hal. So this is what? Ismu what? Ismu asbaha is a wawu jamaa. What's your cover? The what? Jathimin. So do we get? Let's look at this. يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ خَوْفًا وَطَمَعًا. They are what? They are calling their Lord, khawfan, out of fear, watoma'an, and being what? Being longing, being hopeful, being longing for reward. Do we get now? So this now, because it's a masdar, don't forget when we use masdar, and can this thing answer the question of hal? What's the question hal is answering? Hal answer the question of what? Kaifa. So we can say, Kaifa yad'una rabbahum. How are they what? How are they praising their Lord? Khawfan wa tama'an. It answered it. So we can say khawfan and tama'an, they are hal. We get. So that means the takdir is what? Yad'una rabbahum khaifina tami'ina. So it is correct that way. You may not be surprised. Another person can say, oh, what I've seen here is what? Maf'ulun li ajlihi. What question does maf'ulun li ajli answer? Because of what? What is the reason why they are calling their Lord? Do you get now? So sababu da'wati rabbihim. What's the reason why they are calling their Lord? Say khawfan. The reason was out of fear, because of fear. Tamu'an, because they are longing for what? So these two can also be what? Can be hal and can also be what? Maf'ulu li ajlihi. So that's why we told us that many times when masdar is coming as hal, it's subjective. Don't forget when we were doing al-mufrada, we mentioned that. So this can be hal and this can also be what? Maf'ul, because it's answered the question of kaifa. It also answered the question of what? The question of why. Mal is sabab. Do you get now? So next one. وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Make us for the muttaqin. Make us imam for them. Make us imam for the muttaqin. So we have seen ja'ala. Don't forget ja'ala. that means what? Tasir. You know, Ja'ala can mean kolako. وَجَعَلَ اللَّيْلَ وَالنَّهَارَ. So if it just stop like that means kolako layla وَالنَّهَارَ. But if we see Ja'ala now, we see a marifa taking nasbu, we see another word again following, and it is indicating tasir, it's indicating transformation. So that is what? That is Ja'ala that have two maf'ul bihi, maf'ul bihi al-awwal and maf'ul bihi thani, and that is the case here. So what's the maf'ul bihi al-awwal of Ja'ala? It is the na. Oh, sorry. وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. Okay, waj'alna is waj'alna. Waj'alna, waj'alna. So that's what is the waj'alna. So these are maf'ul bil awwal. So what's the maf'ul bil thani? Because this is a dua. If they are praying to Allah, make us. So that is tasyyid, transform us. So these are maf'ul bil awwal. What's the maf'ul bil thani? Imaman, imaman. So this is not hal. So this is tasrir, maf'ul bil awwal, maf'ul bihi thani. Waj'alna lil muttaqina imaman. So this one says wa tuhibbuna al mala hubban jamman. So don't say, oh, okay, this one you look at what? Sofan, you look like dakkan. No, it's not. Because we have seen tuhibbuna and we have seen the masdar here. So this is more. So when you are seeing a verb and you are seeing its masdar traces, what would that be? Maf'ulu mutlaq. So this is a maf'ulu mutlaq like this. So it's not hal. And this is a wasfu for it. Jammu. When something is surplus, when something is much, when something is many, do you get them? So that's jammu. So this is a nat to this. So this one too is not what? It's not hal. So what hal can we see from what you have written out? We can only see this as our hal. You get so when it's not that when you just say anything taking nasbu, you think it is hal. No, you look at the situation of things. Is it answering the question of kaifa? Is it is it singular? Where can I find it? So you check those things before you can determine okay, this is hal or not. So please let's watch out for those lesson notes of what you have mentioned. For those basic things, always look at when we are doing the hal. So we pray Allah accept it from us as an act of ibadah. If I remove the hal, does the sentence make sense? If it makes sense, that means it's also an indicator that it's what? It is hal. Because hal is a what? The fadla in your what? In your sentence is something that is dispensable, that we call them extra words that we are using in the sentence. That means if they are not there, the sentence will always be what? Be complete. So pray Allah accept it from us as an act of ibadah. Subhanakallah wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.